Well, Siktash, I'm Jiggy Johnson. I either si chua te kikum tana autumn, which oida can you walk and St. James Landro. Either man, I see, sorry, I'm getting languages crossed up, but Lane Sterling Johnson. I'm from two places, Newfields, which is right along the Mexican borderline. It's no more than a football field away from the border. Some people know that as Coriquiche, and it's one of our port of entries where we can actually go across into Mexico and cross back with our tribal ID cards. And I'm also where I grew up. I grew up on St. James Ranch, which is a small ranch that we, on my father's side, where where I grew up the first, 6, 7 years of my life. But today I want to talk about the work that Native Sea Search does, and my position as communities programs coordinator. Just to give the mission, to conserve, share the seeds of the people of the desert, Southwest Mexico, and arid adapted climates, and keeping them going. And stewarding them. I liked how Jacob brought up that, it is something that I still fight with sometimes. I'm not afraid to admit it, that because where I actually got into agriculture was in 2011, and my cousin, who was in charge of the organization that I worked for, was very anti-Native Sea Search. For the years I went there, and his anniversary is coming up this year in May. He was very anti-Native Sea Search, and because of the things that were done by previous iterations of Native Sea Search, and it made me question what I wanted to do for the future. And when this job came about, my partner and talked about it, and I had to think about it. I'm a traditional person, which made me think about my culture and how I got myself to where I'm at. So it took me a while to respond, but it took a phone call, and I had a conversation with Robert, and what kind of helped me push to the next step to actually take this position was Jacob. I wish he was here, because I wanted to acknowledge him, because he was the one that basically told me what the board wanted to do for the future. And I had met people who had worked at Native Sea Search that didn't have good experiences, and had kind of shared their grievances to their family members and their communities. And what do you do? How do you change something to be positive? How do you change a negative to a positive? How do you go out and do those things that the organization wants to do? And in the end, my father is a very wise man, and he had always said, so you can either be the part of the pollution, or you can be part of the solution. And so I decided to take this job and learn more about Native Sea Search than I have, and that what the organization and how vital it is. I go to Part of my work is going out to communities, going out to districts, going out to councils. I'm a councilman myself. I represent in my community over 3,000 people, and just in my area, and I have to make decisions that affect my communities, not just my family. Like most of us tease each other on Facebook or Instagram about being on council and just taking your family. I have to consider what it means to represent 3,000 people, and what decisions they make, that we make, and what decisions they would want for the community, want for their for their friends, for their families. So I always take that into consideration when I go out and I talk to people, or I'm presenting Native Seed Search, making that available. So part of the Native Seed Search, is being able to make these things available. Of course, we sell the seeds that we have, and you can find them on the website. You can find them in some places in Tucson, like the co-op. I'm trying to figure out where else I see them. I see them everywhere, all over Tucson. And it's the best way to kind of spread that knowledge of traditional foods that are out there, especially the seeds that we do have. Here in Arizona, we're the salad state, or we're the melon state. A lot of the stuff that we grow is being shipped out to all over the U.S., and it really helps. It really puts us at a disadvantage, when it comes to our natural resources. Water. I do educate people about these traditional foods for several years, advocating for our natural resources, knowing that these traditional foods, wherever we come from, don't use a whole lot of water. Don't, like it was explained scientifically, the seeds can do just as good as with less water than they do with more water, and part of that is just that adaptation. But what do we want to do? How do we want to do that? How do you want to run your business? So a lot of that is community seed grant, native seed requests, donation. So native seed, it was explained earlier about native seed requests. How does that work? If you guys can see, you guys have a little paper that says native seeds request form. You can actually go to the website, or you can fill out a physical form and mail it in. And I always say, do the website. It's a lot easier. You can find a lot of the seeds through the website versus filling out a paper form. But if you're old school, you can do it that way. But yeah, if you put in your order, you order 15 seed packets. So my first week on the job was to actually learn about some of these programs. So I actually filled it out as a farmer, because I do have a traditional farm of my own that I'm hoping to expand into 50 acres or more. And I filled it out as if I was at home. I'm back at home, and for most of us, it's a PO box number. There's no physical addresses. So I filled one out, and the seeds came. I tell that to all the council members or all the community reps that I talk to. This is how this is how it works. So it does work, and I also tell them, if it doesn't work, please let us know so that we can figure these out. One of these things is to be able to tackle some of the issues that we do have. Hopefully, for the future, we'll make this more easy and more accessible for everyone. This is what it looks like on the website. It's very easy application to fill out. I did get my seeds in about a week, so it actually works. Partner farmer, this is something that we hope, especially being mentioned about these seeds going back home. This is something that I'm passionate about because it's something I went through myself as that part of the Native Seed Search agendas, and being told, okay, we'll work with you, coming from a nonprofit that my partner and I ran, that we were being told that we're going to be worked with to help with this growings, and I was excited about getting these seeds, but it never came. It never came, and I was very disappointed. So it really, what I wanted to do was be able to help people get connection to these seeds, making sure that we do follow through with everything that we had promised. These seeds can go to your farm, so you can have an opportunity to grow these seeds. Work with us to talk us through this, whether it's Joel, whether it's Deshaun or Helena, about maybe these grow outs, they're good where we're at, but what most people don't understand, the seeds are adapted to their climate, and Tucson's just one climate. We have so many different climates in the Southwest. It could be snowy and wet in one area, and it could be dry, and I think we're gonna hit 85 degrees here. Now, I hadn't seen this happen since, 2012, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I've seen a frost hit Tucson or Phoenix in late March. It really doesn't. Our weather is really uncontrollable on how these things happen. But what we want is people to have access to these seeds, so that they can try these out. Especially the partner farmers. When we know they're ready, we want to work with you, to get them there. Native Seeds request is just for you to try it out. Beginning, I always say, don't be afraid to order the seeds. Especially the councilman people. Last Wednesday, I was at a community event in Onagum, in central of the Thought of the Nation, and I had reminded them, some of us are Hopi, some of us are Navajo, some of us are Pueblo Indians, whatever mix we are, and sometimes these foods are reminding us of our families and reminding us of home. Don't be afraid to try them. They might adapt here, or they might be able to go back home and adapt to where they came from. So that's just one reach, and so anything you can contact the conservation, email us and let us know if you're interested. Some of the Pueblo, like I said, Pueblo people, tribes, nations are part of this. We're hoping for more, especially in the local areas, and giving out more of the local seeds. This community seed grant is one of those options too, as well. If you're in an educational program, or if you teach at the school, or if you're a nonprofit, or you're a school garden instructor or scientist teacher or cultural. I'm really proud that one of the people I used to work with is a cultural teacher and teaches about traditional songs. He's known for singing beautiful traditional songs, and he learned how to farm, and he incorporates that to his class. And it's really beautiful to know that these kids know these traditional songs that I didn't grow up with, but it's adding value to that, to those seeds. That he's there at the school every year, teaching these kids all these songs, and it's beautiful. It's just really amazing to see that these kids, can eventually, when they leave high school, they can go, request land. They can, maybe convert their pastures into farmland, and be able to be advocates of seed saving and seed sovereignty or food sovereignty. So yeah, these are the ideal situations, especially because of their arid deserts that we have throughout the Southwest. These are just some of the programs. Just like some people say Sunnyside High School, and it's like, well, there's Indigenous, Mexican, and Native students in those schools. They need to know that their traditional foods can be there where they're at. And if they choose to go home, or if they choose to live and farm, or have a small garden at home or in the communities, it's here and it's available for them. Especially a community seed grant is a bigger donation. We actually do have community regular donations too as well. I didn't put it in the site, I forgot. If you're doing an event, if you're a council or you're a tribe or you're a nonprofit or anything like that, you can ask for a donation of seeds, and we'll donate whatever extra seeds we have to give to you to donate or give out to the community. We believe that these seeds, any seeds, can be grown by anybody, and it can be and it can be it's for the people. So, like I said, I've done a lot of presentations, and it was really my concern about taking this position, knowing where Native Research is going out and facing the criticism, and I still get criticism. I got a text from someone that is still against Native Research, but it was. I hope that people can, over the years, I plan to keep doing this outreach for years, because our tribal councils changes, new leadership, new generation, and the importance of these seeds hasn't changed. It's someone that needs to continue to go out and go to the communities and make these available, making sure that people understand it is available, or try to help the community maybe bring those seats back. Whether it's a council, whether it's a tribal program, whether it goes under natural resources, or whether it goes to cultural centers. That we hope that we find people that can, be able to host seats, and but we don't want this to just be just Native Research doing this work. We want this to be the goal is to maybe have every tribe do that. Have every tribe be a seed bank, so that we don't want to know about the what ifs, because sadly what ifs has already happened. just take the fires in California. They destroyed a lot of the sea banks that were there, or sea libraries that were there. We're not that different. Yeah, we're in the desert, but whatever. This area is known to be flooding. About 15 years ago, there was a big flood that wiped out a lot of houses out here in the Chandler Gilbert area. And what's stopping it from coming to this area? Those are just those what ifs that we don't want to think about, but we have to prepare for the worst. 2020, like Joel said, was the worst year for agriculture. I planted a lot of the. I take pride in being autumn and being able to withstand the heat and working in 118-degree weather, but the plants hits the limit. I planted beans that couldn't pollinate, or squash that couldn't pollinate, that were traditional to the land because there was no rain. We don't know how important these our climates are. To the fact that by the time when things were starting to grow out, it was already too late. The daylights were getting shorter, and the cold weather just came out of nowhere. We went from 90-degree weather to 60-degree weather in just in a matter of a week. And plants can't adapt to that. We can't put a jacket on the plant and say, hey, I hope you stay warm and produce a food for me. We can't do that. Yeah, we can grow in a greenhouse, but even that shock is going to hurt it. So, those are the kind of things that we kind of go out. I want to go out and educate people, even they're more experienced. Hopi was really a reminder, like how sometimes just the simple things can mean a lot to common people, because the way the culture is set up, sometimes they don't have those seeds, and families aren't going to give seeds to other family members because they don't have them, and sometimes they have to turn to native seeders to start a new family seed, which is great. We're there, but we don't want to be the primary source. That's there. So, but being able to do a seed working workshop with the Natwani Coalition, with their biannual symposium that they have. I've been attending a lot of community events on Tohono Nation. Would love to go travel to other tribal nations. We've done workshops with People's Farm and Apache land. Would hope to be out there more often. We're to grow out more of their seeds. San Carlos, we would love to go out there and be there too with them. So a lot of outreach to the communities that have been doing, and these are the results. Himdaki, being able to share this, and provide some funding for the communities programs through micro grants. That they're being able to do a technical assistance and then open one to the public. That technical assistance was able to teach tribal programs how to make these self-watering container containers, and because we have so many of these stations around the nation, they're going to be able to reach more people than I would have if I had gone on my own, trying to communicate with the districts, trying to communicate with the communities representatives, doing all that. I could do all that, but what better way of showing teamwork, being able to show that to other people and make it accessible. Like I said, we're done Las Amiguitas, which is in gardening in Tucson that's focused on low income gardens and growers. I just presented at me and Robert Stone, our vice presented at SWIA annual conference in Laughlin, Nevada. This is just some of the tribal events that I've been able to have informational, give out informational pamphlets or programs, or have done workshops like the self-watering or the drying racks, whatever we can do. If you're in Tucson on Sunday and you want to come see us, there's the Rioto Farmers Market every Sunday from I think 8 to 12 or 8 to 1. Depends on how cold it is and how warm it is. It's either 7 to 11 and 8 to 12 on Sundays, every Sunday. And we're there till the end of April. Just some of the things that we're able to do. If interested, please email me. Mine is on the bottom. And not email the conservation@nativeseasearch.org. We would love to make this information available to all nations, all communities, beginners to advanced growers. So with that, thank you.